What's up, you guys? It's Renee, and I'm back, and I'm better. And today I wanted to talk about kind of just how I've been living my life and how it's been setting me up for success and how it keeps me focused on what I need to focus on and keeps me in the right lane. And it kind of realms around embodying the life of Christ, embodying the love of Christ. And in other terms, I kind of talk about it as if I'm a mother. And how I explain it is basically I pretend I have a child. And you think about having a child, your child's going to mimic you. Your child is going to do whatever you do. She's going to walk like you. She's going to talk like you. She's going to do the little gestures you do. She's going to dress like you. She's going to look up to you. Like, I remember my mom, like, I loved how she walked in rooms and she instantly just made people feel good. She would smile. I loved the way she walks. My mom ran track, so I wanted to run track. I would look at her old pictures. She did cheerleading. I wanted to do cheerleading. Everything she did, things she said, I say to this day, I still say things that my mother said when I was younger. Like, you truly mimic your parents and or whoever it is that you're around the most when you're growing up. Whoever is your parental figure, I don't know if I said that correctly, but that is the person that you end up very similar to, especially if you had a good relationship. And for me, I like to live my life as if I have a daughter, and I want to be the best example for my daughter. And that can be, and you have to look at it like your daughter's in every room with you. God's in every room with you. God is always in the room. God is always watching. Live your life like you constantly have a camera on you. And it's like, in that way, you're more conscious of what you're doing. You're more conscious of sin. You're more conscious of, how you're speaking. What vocabulary are you using? What are you talking about? What conversations are you engaging in? What activities are you engaging in? Who are the people you're talking to? Are you going to let your daughter watch you get disrespected over and over? Are you going to let your daughter watch you speak with profanity? Are you going to let your daughter watch you lose your character in public and become this loud, whatever, disrespectful person? You're not going to want your daughter to see that, because you're not going to want her to end up like that. And it's like, it's hard to live your life perfect, but I will say this has helped me tremendously. Just staying on the right track and getting right with God and just all the things. Like, you really have to embody that. And it also comes down to loving like God. Like, for me, something I'm actively working on, is loving like God. Sometimes we can take things personally, like how somebody treats us, how somebody reacts to us, whatever somebody's doing in our life, or how somebody's acting in their own life. Sometimes we can take that personally. But when you learn to love like God, and you can shift your mind instead of, okay, this is all coming at me, but why? And you can think of, like, we've all grown up with different experiences, and all our experiences, it's what molds us. It's what makes me who I am. It's what makes me joke the way I do. It makes me walk the way I do. The traumas is what makes me fear the certain things I fear. Like, we've all grown up with a certain deck of cards, and that's what makes us who we are. And this person may be reacting towards me in a certain way because, number one, maybe they're insecure about something and they're just projecting it on me. Number two, they could just be having a bad day. Number three, maybe it triggered something that I don't know about. Maybe they have a trigger that I don't know about. And it's like, when we enter relationships and friendships, we need to ask those questions in the beginning. Like, I know they're tough questions and it's a tough conversation, but what are your triggers? Tell me about your childhood. What was something that affected you in your childhood? How did your parents treat you? How do you receive love? How do you give love? Like, when you ask those questions initially, you can really understand that person and their upbringing. And when you understand that, then you can further understand why they might react a certain way, why they might not like this certain thing. Maybe this certain thing was a trigger in their last relationship, and it's like, now it's triggering them, but you really didn't mean no harm. It can be a whole realm of things. But learning to love like God and give grace, like, this isn't towards me. this is something this person's dealing with, and I want to help them, and I'm going to love them through it. And even when it comes down to like road rage, like me in the car, like someone might be crazy honking at me or doing something, and I know sometimes I drive a little crazy. Sometimes I deserve it, and I'm like, you know what, you right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, do your honking, whatever you want to do, be loud. But like sometimes people just be, I don't know, they just be tripping. But I'll never let that take me out of character and let me that ruin my day, because I just look at it as like, that person might be having a bad day. God, please bless that person. Maybe that person's hungry. Maybe that person didn't eat all day. Maybe that person just had a super hard phone call and now I'm driving a little too slow in front of them. You never know. You never know. So it's like when you start to look at things in that way, in that perspective, it really helps. It helps a lot with my own mental clarity. Because when we're constantly looking at why me, what me, like it affects our own self-esteem. And while you should be aware if you are the problem, because that's a whole different story. If you are the problem, then yes, you need to work on yourself. Yes, you do. If this is something that's common amongst many different people that's saying a certain thing to you, you might be the problem. But ask questions. If someone's saying something to you and you get that a lot, ask what makes me come off that way, and how can I work on that? What would make you feel more comfortable? Like whatever it is. And it's like, I feel like just that level of communication can help everything, and just learning to love like God and understand that God's always in the room, like that will shape your life very well. Like just having those three things, God's always in the room, love like God, and just embody it, communication, and you'll be set up for life, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna keep your head on right. And I hope that this little piece of advice helped somebody. I just felt like speaking that was just on my heart. And yeah, like I said, I have a little daughter. Her name is Carly. Carly's a little cutie girl, and her mother is setting an awesome example for her, and I am very sure of that, and I make sure of that every day. And you know what, I kind of look at it as like a stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So when I do have a child, I'm not gonna have to change up my life. I mean, I'll have to change certain things obviously, but who I am, how I act, how I talk to people, how I walk in the room, no, I'm not gonna have to change any of that. I'm not gonna have to worry about cleaning up my Instagram. I'm not gonna have to worry about cleaning up my vocabulary around my kid. I'm not gonna have to worry about cleaning up my drinking and smoking. I've already prepared myself. I'm ready, so I don't have to get ready. But with all that being said, I love y'all so much. Make sure you check out my Instagram and my TikTok and my podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Comment what you want to see more of, and thanks so much for all your support. Make sure you turn that ringer on and subscribe and like and do whatever you please. I love y'all. Bye.